Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today we're doing our tobacco tasters, and we've got L.J. Peretti's Thanksgiving Day. This is a blend that L.J. Peretti puts out every year, and it's only available one time a year, and it starts on November the 1st, and they have it until they run out, and then that's it for the rest of the year. You have to wait another year to get it. So hopefully you guys got your blends and you're tasting this along with us. A little bit of history on this one. And before we get into that, I wanted to let you know that next month's Tobacco Tasters, you're going to like this, is going to be a Country Squire blend, and it's called Cordial Friends. So we're going to do Cordial Friends. That was a suggestion that we got on our last video. So go ahead and order your Cordial Friends from the CountrySquireOnline.com. And that's what we're going to do for our December, or actually our Christmas,
Christmas
tobacco tasters. Okay? All right. So a little bit about this blend. First of all, this comes from the website of L.J. Peretti. And it says it's a 4-ounce pressed cake that has been a tradition since 1939. Year after year, they make available in a limited capacity starting on November the 1st. This effort keeps us tied to our roots when Major Joseph Peretti, father of Robert Peretti, set forth to blend Peretti's burley and English mixtures. The Major wanted to create a blend with the essence of the holiday season, and after countless trials, a mixture of 7 different tobaccos blended with a balance of dark rum and fruit juices was concocted and pressed into breakable 4-ounce cakes. This process has not changed since the first batch was taken from the press. So, couple of also things about this. Of course, it is an aromatic. It is primarily a burley blend. The toppings on it is a little bit of anise, some fruit and citrus, and rum. The strength on this is moderate. The flavoring on this is mild, and the taste on this is medium. So we're going to jump into this one, and hopefully you guys are trying this as we're smoking it, and let's kind of get our thoughts together so that when others try this, they can read your comments and kind of get an idea of this blend. All right, so like we said, it's a crumble cake. It's a pressed cake.
Yeah.
And it breaks up into ribbons. Let's talk about the tin note. Nathan, what do you get on this tin note?
So, it is a primary burley blend, and that's one of the first things you get on the tin note in my first impression on it. Is there's a lot of nuttiness, some earthiness, a little bit of woodsy coming through with those burleys. It's slightly grassy. The Virginias don't come through a lot, but I can also really get that anise coming through. There's that citrusy kind of bit, that like a fruit kind of citrus coming through, and that's mostly what I get coming out of it. It doesn't lead forward to the Virginias a lot.
I don't get hardly any topping smells in this at all.
I think it's just the anise that I'm getting in it.
I don't even hardly get that. Of course, my nose is a little different, but I just get burleys. I get traditional burley smells. I get a little bit of the nuttiness. I get the earthiness. I get a little bit of cocoa in there as well. The grass is almost non-existent, but to me the toppings are almost non-existent. So whatever the concentration of toppings that they put in this,
they're not using a lot.
It's not heavy at all. It's really, really light. So I'm getting basically a really burley forward blend.
It reminds me a lot of, and whatever anybody wants to say, even me in the past has said it about old codger blends. It reminds me a lot of the scents of an old codger blend.
Yeah.
Just a very strong burley tobacco type flavor.
Yeah, I get a
Little spice every now and then, like Sir Walter Raleigh. You'll get the peppery.
Raleigh.
Sorry, you'll get the pepper. You'll get the half and half. You get some sweetness from it. But this one, I just get a good burley, and it reminds me a lot of Carter Hall.
That's what I was going to say. Half and half for Carter Hall
Reminds me a whole lot of Carter Hall.
is what I get off of this
And
nose.
a long time ago, I would scoff at it, but now being a purchaser of Carter Hall and having a 1.5 pound tin in my, because it's just a good no muss no fuss smoke, and that's what this kind of reminds me of with that tin note. So it kind of makes me sit back and get ready to have a solid smoke.
I have to say that of all the Codger blends I've tried, I feel like Carter Hall is probably
the best,
one of the best out there.
I think so.
All right, well, let's talk about our tastes here. What are you getting?
This is where it gets me a little different. I don't get a lot of those flavorings in the taste at all. Mostly a burley, very, very, very woodsy and nutty. There's a moderate sweetness to it, but I will say that there's a little bit of cocoa that I get from it. And maybe it's just because, like, dark chocolate cocoa. Like, cocoa is dark chocolate, but you get what I'm saying, where it's just a very earthy, chocolatey type flavor that comes through it. Not getting a lot of sweet flavors. Nutmeg is another one that I'm kind of getting in there. I am having to spend some time babying it a bit with some lights. I don't know if maybe it's the way I packed it.
I get a soapiness from this. Mm-hmm. I really do. I get a floral taste and a soapiness that is
coating your mouth.
It's on the front. It's just
I
there.
I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah.
Almost like the floral part of it is almost like a deer tongue. Kind of
where
taste.
It has that weird
texture.
Bite. Yeah, that weird texture, that
yeah.
weird bite where it smokes.
Yeah. You're right. The toppings are very light, and they almost don't even come through. I think of all the toppings in here, the anise is foremost.
Yes.
I get a little, very slightly bit of the cocoa that you're talking about, molasses.
Yeah.
I even get some herbs in here, some herbal tastes in here. Not a lot of sweetness.
No.
Not a lot of grassiness. And not a lot of topping taste either. To me, this is more of a traditional burley blend that you would probably find in the 40s and the 50s.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Just a no-nonsense kind of burley smoke.
Yeah.
So as far as classifying it as an aromatic, I think that's really on the line. I think that's on the edge. I don't get the aromatic part of this at all. I guess because of the addition of the toppings, they have to classify it as an aromatic. But to me, this is more of a straight burley.
Yeah, to me, this is very, very straight burley. There's none of those sweet. There's none of those other flavors that are coming through. This seems like a very earthy, very tobacco forward smoke to me.
Every now and then I get little slips of honey, kind of a honey taste, or maybe like a candied fruit taste in there. But for the most part, that soapiness is predominant. The nuttiness is predominant. The earthiness is predominant. Just traditional burley flavors.
Yeah, I think so.
To me. Yeah. All right. Well, you got anything to add on the tastes? Guys, make sure that you're putting your comments below the video and below the description so that people can also benefit from your thoughts as well.
Not much on the taste. I mean, it really is just a very straightforward, solid, burley smoke.
Yeah.
And I think to the opposite side of what, like, because we've had strong experiences with burleys before, you and I. And I think this one's a lot more manageable of a burley smoke. So I will give it that. I think, it's a very manageable burley smoke. It smokes differently than some of those other codger blends that I've had, especially Carter Hall, the one that it reminds me of.
But my thought is that is this something that I'm going to wait an entire year for and then just go out and buy it when it
comes
drops?
out. Yeah.
You know, if I'm a burley smoker, there are other burleys, very good burleys. We've tried the Solani, you know, aged burley flake. We've tried the HH burley flake from McBaron's, which we both really enjoyed, which is available year round.
Yeah.
In comparison to this, I would go for those first.
I think so too.
So, as a burley, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay,
It's
but
okay.
I'm not going to knock myself out each year trying to fight for it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got online today, and it's the 28th of November, and it's still available.
Yeah.
So they haven't sold out of it yet. So that's just my thoughts on the flavor.
I think so too.
All right. Well, what about room note on this? What do you get on the room note?
I would say it's a pleasant room note. It doesn't linger. It doesn't hit heavy. It doesn't really overpower any other scents in the room. Like if we had a candle or somebody else in third chair smoking something different, something that was more aromatic or
a stronger
blend, period, it would overpower the room note.
Yeah.
And that's my only thought is it's good.
You know, I love the room note of pipe tobaccos, period.
Yes.
I don't care what it is. I would prefer that room note over any other source of tobacco. Cigar, cigarette, you name it. I would prefer a pipe. So it's always going to fall to me as being a pleasant room note.
Yes.
And this is a pleasant room note. You're right, it doesn't linger. It's there and then it's gone. Dissipates pretty fast. What do you think about the moisture on this?
Now, I've had to have a couple relights, and I just had to have one.
Yeah, but I'm wondering
if it's because
you're talking between...
Yes. Or...
Because, I mean, feel that. It's slightly moist but not bad. Yeah.
No, not bad. I think it would be ready to go as it came.
I think so, too.
I think it's because I'm messing with it, and maybe because I'm also messing with it in a more difficult to manage pipe, because this pipe I always have to kind of do a relight no matter what I'm smoking.
You know, this is probably I've tried this a dozen times since I've bought it. This is my first time in a meerschaum, and I have to say it's more pleasing in a meerschaum than it was in a briar. I tried to like it in a briar, and I just wasn't buying it. I just wasn't getting it. Now in a meerschaum, it's better.
Yeah,
it's better. I don't know why. You know, maybe it's because flavors that are already in my briars. I don't know, but I do like it a little bit better in my meerschaum. What do you think about nicotine content on this?
Mild to moderate. This is a burley blend, so it's a
heavier. But you know, that's surprising, yes, because it is a burley forward, and burleys have a tendency to be stronger in nicotine content. But yeah, moderate.
Yeah. I definitely feel it, but I can't, tell if that's because I haven't had lunch today and breakfast was a while ago, or if it's because the smoke itself is a little stronger. But it's a burley blend, so it's to be expected. But I was really expecting a little bit more of a with a burley blend.
Yeah, me too. So far, it's an okay smoke.
Yeah,
for me. All right, a couple of things about this. I did a lot of research on this one, and a lot of comments that I found on this was that it's smooth. It burns decent. It's consistent.
Yes.
I will give it that it's
consistent.
consistent. As far as the smoothness of this, I don't know. I get a little bit of a tongue burn on this.
A little.
Yeah. And that soapiness just kind of turns me off a little bit. we talked about needing a few relights here and there. There is some moisture in the bowl. It has a lingering aftertaste, not a long lingering aftertaste, but it's pleasant enough. It's typical burley flavors that you get on your tongue.
Yeah.
I don't think this is necessarily an all-day smoke, do you?
No, I mean, for a burley smoker, maybe, but there's some, like, I don't know. There's some other burleys out there that I feel would be a more forward-standing all-day smoke.
And we talked about that a little bit.
And I would say this is, well, I mean, first thing, it can't be an all-day smoke. They only release it once a year. So,
well, it could be for about a week or so.
Yeah.
And then you'd be out.
And then you're out, yeah.
We talked about how this reminds me of other codger blends. Definitely this is one you're going to want to sip. You don't want to puff hard on this one. What I do like about this is that they treat the toppings like a European topping on it. It's not goopy. It's not wet.
It's got restraint to it. It doesn't taste treated.
Yeah, what do you? We want to know what you guys think about this, so please make sure you put your comments on there. All right, well, this is a bulk blend that they make, and it comes only in 4-ounce cakes. It's only available at ljperetti.com. Comes out once a year, like we said, and it's $26 for 4 ounces, which breaks down to about $6.50 per ounce.
Which, about par for the course.
Yeah, it's about average as everything else is right about now. All right, so here it comes. What are your thoughts about this? What are you going to give this? So I'm thinking of it two different ways. I'm thinking of it comparatively to other burleys, but also as just an overall smoke.
So I'm thinking of it in two different ways, but overall smoke, of course, but then comparatively to availability, ease of access, things like that. Like that's the other thing that I'm getting sidetracked on with my rating, because that kind of hurts it. As an overall smoke, I probably would have given this one 3.5. It's a solid burley smoke with the toppings. There's a little bit of flavorings, but it smokes well, does well, and it doesn't overpower you completely. Comparatively to the fact that you got once a year to get it, and you can only buy it as a 4-ounce bulk. It takes it down half a shot for me, and I want to just give it a solid 3.
I'm going to give it a solid 3 also. There's nothing just fancy about this.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes me go, ooh, Thanksgiving Day is coming out.
Yes.
I'm going to go buy some,
Yeah,
It's like
when I know just around the bend, there's figgy pudding, there's cordial friends.
Yeah.
There's I know just around the bend, there's other seasonal things that come out that I actually get excited for.
Now, our friend Charles Tyvett,
yes,
down South Texas, good pipe carver and great guy. He took some Thanksgiving Day and aged it for a year.
Ooh, okay.
And he did say that it came out better after a year of sitting. So that might be the trick on this one, guys. I don't know.
Buy your next year's supply this year.
Right. And put it away, smoke this one next year, and see how it is.
Maybe.
But as it is right now, just a 3. Nothing impressive about it. Nothing...
wonderful.
Yeah, it's just a...
It's a good smoke.
It's a solid smoke.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All
okay.
right, so 3.
So we're going to give it a 3. This is LJ Peretti's Thanksgiving Day. We're giving it a 3. We'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this as well. So please make sure that you post your comments underneath the description. We'll let other people benefit from your thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget that we are doing Cordial Friends from Country Squire on the next one, which will be a couple of days after Christmas, but it'll be right at the Christmas time, so that'll be our next tobacco tasters. And for the next few episodes, we're going to try some Christmas
Blends,
flavors.
yeah.
and see what we think about those. So you guys might want to give us a couple of suggestions as to what you think we might need to do. We've got a few in the bank already, so if you want to go back and kind of look at some of those. One of the things I might do is, that Christmas spice that we have, the Sutliff Christmas spice.
Yeah.
I've got some that's been sitting for 4 years now.
You do?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
'cause I'm almost out.
we might try. Buy your own.
Yeah.
We might try some of that and see how it goes. And then also Cornell and Deal has their
annual Christmas.
Yeah, their annual. I think I've got some over there.
I do too.
Jolly Old Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, I have. Oh wait, that's at the lease.
Yeah, well, we're going.
That's my least smoke.
We'll go. We'll try some of that as well. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure that you put your comments underneath. Don't forget.
Make all your piping moments count.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Enjoy.
See you guys.